The blue is coming. Anyway, today we have Multiverse Fusion Theory as requested by St. Vina and my executive producers, and this one's by Takio. So we're going to be listening to this. I don't really know what else is going on. I was given a Google Doc of like a translation of like a breakdown of this song that I was told to read after I do this video. So I'll definitely make sure to do that between like listening and talking about it so we can see if there's anything going on with this song. Also a translation of the lyrics. So I have stuff. I was also warned this is very polyrhythm heavy. So I'm not sure how bad that's going to be, but at the same time, I do loves me a good polyrhythm even if I'm bad at playing them myself. Either way, without further ado, let's go. Ooh, okay, yeah, immediately. The smile and nod. Ooh. Oh man, really unapologetic. Yeah. Wacky polyrhythms indeed. God, this isn't just your average, everyday metric modulation. Wow. Like right there, that metric modulation. That's insane. Accordion. Why? Out of nowhere. Like Woo, that was fun. Okay. This is insanity. Oh, now you're on 4/4. Sure. You know, just now you're on a standard. Why not? But you can't end on it. God, I was trying to count it at the end there. Whew. All right, so I just got done reading that whole document I mentioned, and apparently it was paid for by another one of my executive producers, Snores, and if I'm allowed to by them, I'll include that translation in the description as well as a link to the original copy of everything so you can read all this yourself, because there's a lot of details in here that, while I definitely understand the decisions made here and I don't have any problems with those, it's a lot of detail that I don't want to have to like fully divulge and just take away that experience of reading it for yourself, because there's a lot of personality and personal like experience in this song that I feel like it isn't my place to share that, so I'm gonna leave that down there. If you want to read that, go for it. But the song had a lot of obviously math rocky sort of stuff going on, and they talk about that in the doc, as well as the general vibe of like trying to make it feel like a live house song, like something that could be played by a band, and they wanted to write something kind of like that, and I can feel that. There's definitely stuff in this song that I'm like, whoa, my god, that would be extraordinarily complex to play, but I also admit that I am not the best like musician in general. Like people who play math rock are leagues above me in skill and technical approach to their music and craft that I will never know. I will never be that good, and I am okay with that. At the same time, I can respect it just as you should for people who put that much effort into their craft. It is a feat beyond imagination for me. The people who can actually like comprehend that level of play and that that level of composition. And it's so neat to be able to read a document about why that is and why each section, because it's literally broke down per section of this song, why each one exists and what the emotion it's trying to convey is for. And I could feel a lot of that, as well as just the general feeling of this song kind of embodying chaos in a way. It fits really well. The lyrics definitely felt more metaphorical and probably had a few references to stuff that I'm not quite picking up on. It just kind of felt like word salad to me, but that's also possibly because it's a translation and things just aren't sitting quite well. It's not that they're bad necessarily. It's just like, it's like if you write a haiku or something, each line doesn't necessarily have to be related. It can be and often are, but that doesn't mean it's a rule either. So that's kind of what this song is doing. It's got a little bit of weirdness going on with the lyrics, and I don't know how to process that, so I'm not really focusing on that. But the song itself was really fucking cool. I loved all of the stuff going on here. I think it was mixed beautifully. I didn't really have any problems with any of the parts in here. I could hear every single synth added in clear as day, every single guitar part, all the drums and everything. Even though they were very complex, they were placed in spots that made sense, which is probably why, at least in part, when the composer was like, I want to make something that feels like it could be played live, that's probably why. It's a song that's insanely complex. It has a lot of depth to it, but at the same time, you can kind of feel out why and where certain decisions were being made, and I think they did a very good job at putting all that together despite the complexity there. Having that level of attention is extremely rare in the music scene in general, not to mention something out of Arcaea where a lot of people are making just, frankly, a lot of electronic songs and not something so math rocky and like post-hardcore like this, which is really neat and not something I hear a lot, but the vibe of that fits the game so well from what I've seen of it and the storyline within. So like that tracks. I really like that. I love that approach. So this is one of those tracks where it is so immensely dense and there's so much feeling and care put into every single section of this song that I really don't feel like it is my place to break all that down, and I want to leave it to you to read everything. So I will, if I can, leave this all down in the description so you can read it. But if you don't read that doc or can't read that doc depending, then I'll just overview that this song has every single detail very meticulously thought out and every single section broken down to the why it's created and the why they chose that specific type of song, why that compositional approach, and broke down exactly what these odd time signatures and stuff is supposed to be there for and what it's supposed to signify. And that's cool. That's why I love this song so much in that way, because it's not often that every single section gets thought about. You just have the overall vibe of the track. A lot of composers go, man, I love this song. I'm glad I made it. And that's fantastic. There's a meaning behind that. But breaking that down even further into sections and gluing all that together in order to make this extremely interesting kind of journey through the multiverse is just, it's above and beyond. I really can't say more than that, so I think I'll call it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have another song from Arcaea or anything else you want me to get to, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if like Vina did, you want to make sure that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships where you can guarantee a request out of me. It doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!